in order for me to tell the stories that I can tell, like, you know, what changed the game for me was, I want to tell you this story. So in 2019, the Amazon fires started popping off, and we had just gone to film, like a month earlier, we'd filmed like a small documentary, and they'd been following me as if I was on a solo, which, you know, we did the best we could. I lived on my own. But as we were driving, we passed a spot where the flames were 70 feet tall. The forest was being destroyed. And I went out there with my phone, which overheated in like 2 minutes and said you can't use it. But for a second, I was out there in the flames, picking up animals and throwing them off to try and just get them cooled off. I was trying to get snakes out of there. Everything was, the birds are flying. And I fucking lost it. I was red-eyed. I was crying. And I was going, this is happening every fucking day. I was screaming. And it's the first time that I'd done that, because I've seen the burning so many times, and I just lost it that day. And I don't know what made me pull out my phone, because usually in those intense moments I say, forget the documentation, this is real life, we got stuff to do, and I'm not documenting. And then a month later, I'm home and I'm in New York, and all of a sudden I see these articles like, you know, the Amazon's burning worse this year than it was last year, and blah blah blah. And I was like, this, you know, fucking, and I threw it up on Instagram like 8 o'clock at night. And I'd never cursed on Instagram. I don't know why. I just never did. And my phone was on 100%, and I put it on top of the refrigerator, and I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning, and my phone was on the floor on 2%, and it was ringing off the hook. And it was like the news. And they're like, are you the guy that posted that viral video about the Amazon? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And that was the start. That's where it broke. And that's where we went from barefoot in the Amazon to, you know, all of a sudden, you know, I was a talking head for 3 weeks and going around on all these news stations. And all of a sudden I was like the spokesperson for the Amazon, and JJ's calling me, and he was like, go, 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 go. Like, get us that support. And it was just, you know, so communicating with people and bringing them into that reality. And whether it's, you know, rhino poaching and elephant poaching or the Amazon being destroyed, it's like, to me, it's like being able to take people into that is something that I would love to do. The end of that story actually kind of involves him, because I went to all these news outlets, and I was living in green rooms and traveling around, and I was all strung out, and I hadn't seen anybody I actually know in a few weeks, which was starting to get to me. And I finally got home, and I went to like a family party, and everyone was like, dude, it's been crazy. And I was like, yup. And then I left, and my cousin Michael calls me, and he's screaming, and I'm going, what? And he goes, Joe Rogan just shared it.
Oh, nice.
And everyone was losing their shit, and it was so amazing. And it was like,
yeah,
that's when it really took off. And what happened as a result of all of this is that a Canadian entrepreneur who started Lightspeed reached out. And several months later, after COVID, after that boom, you know, I'd been in the game for maybe 13 years or something. Had no money, no savings, no job, no nothing. And after that great publicity thing, nothing happened. The waves came and everything got real exciting. Everybody reached out and they said, we care so much. Nothing happened, though. You know, we can run into battle, but if we don't have our arrows in the quiver, what can we do? And I made a phone call to my friend Mohsen right at the start of COVID, and I was going through a divorce, and I was broke. And I said, I'm going to get a job. I said, I give up. So this is stupid. I said, the ecotourism business is done. Jungle Keepers is dried up. We're done. And then this guy, Dax Da Silva, called me on the phone and said, listen, I'm in. What do we got to do? And so if the analogy was me and JJ and a few other people trying to hold this boulder back from just destroying the rainforest, all of a sudden Dax comes in like a titan and just puts his arm out and just goes, I'm going to help. And he gave us the funding to start actually developing a ranger program, to start actually bringing loggers to be protectors of the forest, to be supporting smaller conservation things. And now we're protecting 50,000 acres of rainforest. We're protecting entire streams and ecosystems that I love. And we're soon going to double that. And it's like this whole thing. So, yeah, the communication of these things is crucial. And I actually think it's incredible that social media has played such a big role in it.